Well, hello. Today is Saturday, March 2nd, and we're going to go over the Weight Watcher meeting, which really, we didn't talk about the pamphlet today. We had Chef Isabella, who is Florine Mark's personal chef. And so she was there, and she gave us a little free sample of something that she made. I'm not a big fan of it. It was 1 point, and it was made with mixed nuts and dates and crackers and cocoa. I didn't like it, so whatever. But anyway, oh, I should start off. See, I don't want I don't want to tell you because it was really, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Just to give you a clue, you don't see very many happy stickers in this last 4 weeks. It's just really sad. I gained 1.6 on the 9th, and then I gained 2.5 on the 16th, so that meant in those 2 weeks I gained 4.1, right? Yep, 4.1. Then I lost 2.8, so that would have brought me down with just still a gain of 1.6, and then I gained 3.2 today, so that means I gained almost 5 pounds this month. But you know what? Don't give up. I am not giving up. And I'm going to stop because I decided yesterday, I woke up yesterday and I decided that yesterday was going to be the beginning of my new Weight Watchers program. Yesterday was a fresh start. I'm starting all over again. I'm pretending that yesterday was my first day of starting, which I kind of wish it would have been a new book because I still got four more weeks in this book. I was hoping I could just start a whole new book. And you know what I might do next week is just tell them I lost my book and could I have a new book. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say I want to start all over again because I want a book where it's going to look nice. And I know that's bad. It's not going to change anything, but psychologically I think it might help me. I think that if I can keep going back and looking and seeing happy things rather than these little sad poopy stickers, that it's going to help me. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do next week. I'm going to ask for a new book. Anyway, enough of that. That was sad. 3.3. No, 3.2. Don't make it worse than it is, Sandy. On a high note was that yesterday I wanted to have Taco Bell for dinner, and I thought, no, you can't have Taco Bell. This is your new plan. You're not. I know it's included, but you got to get back to that beginning mindset again, and so you can't figure in these foods that are free to have them. You got to figure out a healthy menu plan, and that's what I intend to do. So the thing is, meal timing is everything. When you're hungry, right? No, not always. The desire to eat can spring from external cues. You see it because you can see like an ad for a favorite food. You can walk by the bakery section and smell like the good foods that are baking in there. You could walk into someone's house and they're cooking something, and it's just smells trigger not only memories but that gets your hunger thoughts going. And a lot of times you're not really hungry. You could be thirsty. We talk about that all the time. A lot of times you're just thirsty. If you're really, truly hungry, your stomach is going to growl. Sometimes you get a headache because like your sugar levels are off. You're going to have some really good internal signs. The external signs aren't really what you want to go by. You want to go by your internal signs. And when you're thinking of just external foods, you're focusing on a specific food, because like if you're smelling donuts, then like you're going to think, I want something bakery related. But if you're just internally hungry, you're just thinking, I'm hungry, I want to eat something. And so anything's going to satisfy that. If you're internally hungry, an apple's going to satisfy that hunger. But if you're externally hungry, it's going to be whatever provoked that thought that you're hungry that's going to really make the difference in whether or not you're going to be hungry or eating something that you want to eat because you're hungry. I don't know. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I'm kind of like stumbling over my words trying to get this out because I know what I want to say, but it's just not coming out. If you're internally hungry, no matter what you eat, whether you like it or not, it's going to satisfy your hunger. But if you're externally hungry, your mind has got that set that the only thing that's going to satisfy that hunger is whatever you have in mind. And that's the thought I was trying to get across. Planning your meals so you eat at regular intervals can help you manage internal hunger. I keep going back and forth between eating 2 meals and 3 meals and snacking and don't snacking, and this worked then and that worked that time. I just have to stop concentrating so much on food and just go by what my body cues are telling me to do. Think about it. What happens when you haven't eaten in hours and the meal or snack at hand isn't a right for you choice? The sight, aroma, and grabbability of the food might kick in and you eat something you hadn't intended to or even wanted. That's why you want to plan. That's why you want to have your vegetables easy to grab, your fruits easy to grab. Have some boiled eggs, have some cheese sticks. If you have to prepare like soups, have them in there ready to go. Make little freezer meals that you can pop out of the freezer and thaw and cook right away. Make things easier on yourself. Aside from keeping you on an even keel physically, a regular eating schedule can cause you to ease your external urges to eat and help you stick to your Smart Points budget. What they suggest that you do is create a schedule. Choose one day this week to schedule your meals. Now, I don't schedule meals for the whole week, and I think that's what I'm going to need to do for Lent. I think what I'm going to start to do is tomorrow, I think I'm going to plan out my weekly menu, and this is what I'm going to go for the week. I kind of like to just be spur of the moment. This is what I'm going to have today and decide for that moment. But like, truth be told, I always envied Jim because, he went to work and he came home and he sat down. He had no clue what we were going to have for dinner, and whatever we had, he enjoyed it. I would love to be able to just sit down and my meal was all prepared for me. And I didn't have to worry about what it was. I didn't have to worry about going and buying the ingredients. Although I love to shop, I love to cook, and I love to, create my own recipes. But there are just some times that I just like to sit down on a meal that somebody else has prepared for me. Choose one day a week to schedule your meals, slotting for them every 3 to 4 hours. If you need to add a snack time in between, do that. Follow your plan. Notice when you're feeling internally hungry, and if these signs change as your body gets used to this regular rhythm, then you'll know that this is the way you're supposed to eat. When you're used to following a schedule for one day, plan another day. Aim to reach 3 planned days a week. So maybe I won't do the whole week. Maybe I'll just do 3 days. Ease on down, hit the road. That's what I'm going to do. I think that's definitely what I'm going to do. And the recipe is for a rustic roasted ratatouille soup. I'll leave the video at the end so that you can check it and see if you want to do it. It does look pretty good, but I don't know. And then Chef Isabella came and she was talking about the top kitchen rules 101. You want to equip your kitchen with your basic tools such as a good sharp knife, cast iron skillet, a food processor, baking sheets, Foreman grill, a slow cooker, things like that. Never put your knives in the dishwasher. Always wash them by hand. Always use a sharp knife, not a dull knife, because dull knives are more dangerous than a sharp knife. Always try to shop the outer perimeter of the store. Get quality items such as your produce, your meats, your cheeses. You want to get those fresh. Go to Sam's Club or whatever and buy dry beans, lentils, and seasoning blends. It's cheaper in the long run to prepare your own beans, but it takes more work. Try to do things like that the day before. Plan and organize and prep a weekly menu in advance, which I'm going to try to do. Stock your freezer with vegetables and proteins. If you need to make your own foods and put them into the freezer, she said she never buys or never eats a frozen meal that she hasn't prepared herself. Make your own little individual frozen meals, seal them up really well and put them in the freezer, and then date them and mark the smart points on them so that you'll know. Read all the recipes before you start doing them. Don't start going along as you're doing it. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to put that aside. Read the recipe before you do it. And cook in batches using the 4x4 rule. If you're going to have 4 vegetables, try to have 4 proteins with it. Make little salads to go, whether you put them in a mason jar or a Tupperware container or something, so it's something just easy to grab and go. Make 2 options for each meal, and once they become easy to prepare, move on to new recipes. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll bake 2 pieces of chicken because I know I'm going to have a piece of chicken for my dinner tonight, and then tomorrow I might cut it up and put it in a salad, or I might even just put it like in a stir fry real quick, things like that. Use pasta in other ways than adding sauce. She was just like, she's Italian, so she was like dwelling on this. You don't have to necessarily put a meat sauce over it. You can make like a macaroni salad. You can make a pasta salad. You can make like shrimp scampi with the things. She said stuffing, which I've never heard of. But try to think of some other ways that you can incorporate. Even though they're points, you're not going to have your whole meal based on 0 points. You're going to use points somewhere along the line. Consider the pasta part of your points. And use basic cookbooks and food magazines. They're a great investment. She said a lot of times what she does is she goes to the library and then just snaps a picture of a recipe that she likes, or she goes to a bookstore if there's a new cookbook out that she wants to see. They're used to that. Just like skim through it, and even if you see it, just copy it down if it's a recipe you think you might like. And then she gave us some do's and don'ts. You want to bring your meat to room temperature before cooking. That doesn't mean you have to set it out on the counter for hours. A lot of times she said just put it out for 15 or 20 minutes. That's all you need to do. The important thing she said is when you take it out of the oven is to let it rest. She suggested like chicken, the safe degrees for chicken is 165. She suggests that you take the chicken out when it's like at 158 and let it set on the counter for a couple minutes because it's going to continue cooking until it gets to 165 and then it'll be juicy. The way you want to know that it's cooked and done, if you don't have a thermometer, which she recommends a digital thermometer, is to touch it. If you can touch it and it comes out bloody, obviously its chicken's not done. If you touch it and the juices come out clear, it's done. If you touch it and nothing comes out, it's overdone. You've cooked it too long. Always salt your pasta water because when it's cooking, the pasta is going to absorb the salt and it's going to give it a little bit more flavor. And when you're adding your seasonings, do them a little bit of a time. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. And then clean up as you go. Then it's not so overwhelming at the end. And then what she tells you not to do is don't overcrowd your pan. Give it some room to breathe, even your baking dishes. Never put food in a cold pan. She's talking about like when you're cooking on the stove, you want to get the pan hot before you put the meat in it. Don't cook your food wet. Even if you use a marinade, she said it's best to pat dry it because at that point the marinade has already gone into the meat itself and you don't really need to worry about it. If you really want to use the marinade sauce still, she recommends bringing it to a boil so that you can put it over it after it's cooked. Always rinse the pasta. Don't rinse the pasta after it's drained. You want that little bit of starch left on the pasta because then that's what's going to make whatever you're putting on the pasta stick a little bit. And it's not really, when you're rinsing it, you're rinsing off the extra starches, but sometimes your body needs the starches, first of all, but it makes the sauce adhere to it that much better. And never leave the kitchen if you got a burner or grill or a broiler on, which I obviously understand. And then on the bottom, there's the recipe for the basic roasted vegetables. But all in all, it was a pretty good meeting, I guess. The gain kind of threw me off, but I knew I was going to have a gain. And even with that, I was glad I didn't get Taco Bell because, you know, the old Sandy would have said, well, you know, you gained 3 pounds. You should have had the Taco Bell last night anyhow. I was perfectly content with the sandwich. If I'm going to be honest, I was perfectly content with it. So I plan on having a successful Lent. I plan on having a loss for the next 7 weeks. I do plan on asking for a new book because this one's full as far as I'm concerned. I've reached my limit on this book. I'm going to ask for a new book and just go from there. But I'm going to try. That's all I can do is try. And I am going to do my best. I really am going to do my best. And it's a whole new start for me. March 1st is a whole new start. On my daily vlog, I've been asking people to let me know what your accomplishments were for the month of February. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a video and I'm going to give everybody a shout out. So let me know what accomplishments you've achieved this month. It doesn't necessarily have to be weight related. If you got a job promotion or you got a raise at work or your baby took his first steps, you know, anything that you're really proud of for the month of February, let me know. And tomorrow I'm going to do a video and I'm going to acknowledge you. So hopefully this video helped you out. I have a problem coming on here when I'm not losing, trying to tell you to let's get fit with Sandy when I'm not really getting fit myself. And I'm feeling very hypocritical lately. And I think that's just the boost, the swift kick that I needed. And so I do intend to do better. I do intend to getting back to the old Weight Watcher Sandy. I definitely have turned a corner, and I am promising you right now that I'm going to do better. I'm going to definitely do better. So hopefully you subscribe to my channel. Give me a chance. I'm really trying. I'm going to try even harder now. And my goal is to get to Wonderland by the December 31st, which is my 3-year anniversary. If truth be told, my real ultimate goal would be to get down to 175, which is about 55 pounds from here. And I can do it. I know I can do it. I have the right mindset now that I know that I can reach my 175-pound goal. Start off 2020 with going to Weight Watchers for free because I'm tired of paying the $56 a month that I pay for this. And just have a better outlook on everything. So subscribe if you're new to my channel. Give this video a like. Leave a comment and share it. So I will talk to you guys on my daily vlog. Okay, today at our meeting, we didn't really, well, we kind of somewhat went over the, you like that. We went over the brochure, didn't go over the brochure so much, but Chef Isabella, who is Florine Mark's personal chef, came and she did a workshop, and she gave us this pamphlet to tell us how to get ready to mealtime everything. And so I thought I'd share that with you too. And I'll turn it over because there's the recipe on the back. I've never had eggplant. You know, I wouldn't even know the beginnings of how to prepare it. I've never even tasted eggplant now that I'm thinking about it. And then these are just some do's and don'ts that she had brought up. So I thought I'd just share it with you. And then she gave us a recipe for the basic roasted vegetables. It's 3 points. 1 point is from the potatoes, and 2 points are for the oil that's used. So she said if you wanted to use cooking spray instead of oil, you could do that. And if you wanted to use like zucchini instead of potatoes, it would turn it into a 0 point meal.